Welcome back to another game, and we're going to play the Jobava London as I mentioned before. So, and I've tweaked up my move order, like every now and again I'll try and update a bit of the theory as I go. Then is it common to trade? Seems common you trade and then you play a6, and I haven't worked out what you're supposed to do after that. Yeah, I know this is the main line, and it's not super surprising, I suppose, that 2240 knows the main line. Interesting rating slide. So 750 games of Rapid, 2240 that we've got, 600 games of Blitz, 2000, and Bullet 100 games, just under. So I know in some of the lines you're supposed to play F3 and launch this forward. But is this one of those cases? Should I just play this? I don't know. Does this have much? Well, if I'm thinking if I'm going to play F3, I'm probably going to play Queen D2 anyway. So let's just start with Queen D2. It means I can't castle straight away, but let's see what they come up with. Like, sorry, okay. Right, yeah, because that pawn's weak, isn't it? So, yeah, I think we probably start off with this and then play knight here. But then on this, maybe I've already gone wrong. Here, let's, and then, yeah, then here, and maybe we just let you trade. Not sure. Expecting you to come all the way back here. So now I can play this. That feels a bit better for me. If I go this, could you take? Don't get a lot from that. So I'm thinking here, you go here. I could trade, but that opens up your H file, which I don't have much of a desire to do. But what if I play H4 there? Then you can still go there, couldn't you? And I'm not threatening to go H5 because you just take. So here. Maybe I do. Maybe I still go here, bring you out, then I trade, then you take back. Then I go here, and you come back. That feels okay. Or here. Then you might trade, put your knight there. I come back. I think I prefer that line, where I've not opened up your H file. So there. Then there, what was I thinking on that? No, I still open up your H file, don't I? That off the rip. Then there, so there. Maybe I play that. Yeah, maybe there. And if you take, I take your bishop, threatening your knight. Yes. So there, A3. Yeah, I think that's the line. whenever I feel tired, I find having a drink with ice in it seems to keep me more alert. So I can tell that before I go into it that concentration could be an issue. So a drink with ice in it gives me a 100-point elo boost of attention, potentially. Also, learning a new opening just gives you a bit of mental stimulation of like, it's quite exciting, isn't it, trying to play a new opening, although this doesn't really resemble anything like it. Well, it does a bit, like this F3 G4 push is kind of Jobava London-esque when they bring the bishop out. So we're castling long, obviously, in this line. Black probably going short, and if they are going short, we've already got a decent pawn wedge, if you want to call it that, aiming towards them. So yeah, and then this d4 pawn is protected tactically because the queen is looking at it, but there's a bishop in the way, but I can exchange bishops and then pick up the pawn. Well, that's good because, yeah, I think if you are going to castle kingside, your h7 pawn is going to be something I'm going to be staring at. So now this will be coming shortly. So now I can play h4 and force you to trade. I wonder if there'll be some kind of line where the queen ends up getting down to g3. I also need to speed up, so let's just play it without thinking too much. But I'm thinking like a takes line, bishop here, takes. I don't want the queen to come check, so I castle, but maybe the queen would come here anyway. Interesting. Here, take here, maybe pick up there, but now I'm in there. This. Yeah, maybe so I can take there and I can take there and takes, but I've got two weaknesses. Or I can castle and cover both. I can castle and cover both. Now his bishop's kind of out of the game, but the sacrifice has got some potential on that. Knight's probably want to work its way here. Like ideally I'd have the knight set on e5. I've obviously messed up the ability to do that. I could jump it up to g5, but I risk sacking h4. I'll go on this like weird route. I'm going to go into this kind of strong square and then maybe sack here. If I go here, you need to maintain contact with your knight, maybe go here. Here. Yeah, needs to be a bit wary. Like if they land here, takes, bishop takes his mate currently. Or takes with bishop. This comes in. You could take the bishop, can you sack, and then mate here is more of the threat. Yeah, it's quite nasty. Good move. I don't have, if I play this I just sack this, and if I go here, so this might be the only viable move, and then there, no, here, here, and then back. Yeah, maybe it's a repetition. Here then here. Go here, and you go all the way back. Or maybe there. No merit in that, is there? You just come here and cause me more problems. I think this. You come here, I come back. Maybe get there. That's the square that your knight wants to occupy, so that feels okay. Now I can take there. Oh, but if I move my knight, you've got this. Oh, I'm getting absolutely trounced here. This, and then that takes. I'll have this square, but again, what if it's the other way around? Of knight comes here, bishop takes, this takes, queen slides over. Maybe there? Is that going to be a move? Here, here. Maybe move the rook out of the way. The rook here. Queen in, that up. Over. Here. Here. I'm in all kinds of trouble. Let's play there. And if you come in, I can go there. Yeah, this feels really bad. Knight e2. Queen there, queen up. Yeah, and the bad bit is they can just kind of sit on that position for as long as they need to. If I go here, here, here. Is that better? idea being that when the queen comes over here to mate me, I can pop my knights like this, and when needed, put that knight on c5, sack a pawn but stay in the game. Well, hopefully stay in the game. Weird old username, isn't it? Do you reckon they've got, this is their second account? They don't want people to find them. CO9071215. Joined 3 years ago. I was thinking that, you know, the downside to this is that or maybe I could have walked the king over. Maybe I'll do that next. I was like, they can just sit on this position. I was like, because I can't run my king away because the knight covers the only escape square. I can't really challenge this knight very easily without some things going really wrong. So maybe my plan is this. Yeah, maybe they can just like run. Maybe this is very strong. Maybe b5. I was like, yeah, you play b5 or you play like rook c8. It's always annoying when you can see much better moves for your opponent than you can for yourself. So they've got like the sack here. Either the bishop takes first or the knight takes first. So they're left with either a knight or a bishop on that square. If they do it, I don't think they have anything if they do it now. That's why I think b5 is probably the move. The only downside to b5 is that you can't then, well, you can. Yeah, because if b5, b4 it's going to get taken. And they're much quicker to get, ironically, they're quicker to get their pawn storm going quicker than me because all my pieces are in a pickle. Yeah, maybe I can play, yeah, but g5 they can always go here, which is annoying. I was like, if you go back, then I can push h5, and if you take, then I can push g6. You can still push on that, I suppose. But I feel like there's some weaknesses there to go after, like a weak e6 pawn, maybe, if I had infinite moves of this kind of stuff. But this shuts all my counterplay, doesn't it? h5 takes, h5 takes, probably rook takes, does it? Takes, knight takes. Maybe that's playable. We'd end up like coming over here. Maybe you play this. I get in at the back. Maybe there's castle long though. Yeah, so they're having a think, which I think makes sense that they've absolutely bossed me so far without using any time on their clock. Yeah, this is maybe one of my ideas to get some counterplay, but maybe this is the idea to try and protect your king. Maybe you have to get a counterplay. There takes, your rook takes, knight takes, probably this. Maybe you take there and I take there. Gives you a tempo. Maybe you just castle there. We'll see what we get. Yeah, I'd imagine this position is like -3 or 4. Well, maybe it's, I don't know. It's either very bad and crushing immediately, but maybe they won't find the moves. So B5. On this, maybe A5. Then bishop back. Or do we play for counterplay? This. Maybe just ignore it. Yeah, they don't need to take, do they? They can just carry on with this. Takes. Maybe then I push. Yeah. Okay. Oh, this feels so bad. What about this? Bishop takes here. Like there. Takes. Maybe that's playable? Takes there. Yeah, we'll pick up here. Maybe so. Maybe this is playable. Knight takes. Here. Here, knight takes. Push takes. Pin. So this is coming. I don't really want to have boom boom. So I'll play this. No, I like this. No, I like this. Well, what about this? What about that? Takes. Takes. When it pushes, I was going to push, but then it gets to here and I can't stop it from queening. I can take it. Or I go here and then takes. And then after this. So just play this way. See, if pushes are going here. Okay, now I'm just going to push to get some counterplay. regardless if you take or push, I'm putting my bishop here. Yeah, and like I say, I thought I was up with the pawn storm well before then, but it's them that's having much more of an impact than me. Like this. So here I can't bring my king over to either of these squares, but the knight can take. This. Maybe that's credible. Like there. Sack the knight. That gets taken. I put my queen here, say. So what's that there? There. Takes there. Well, this is an issue, so that queen here, how do I stop this? Maybe I can run. And the two rooks cover A1. My squash with ice hasn't really paid dividends, has it? They can just got loads of pawns, right? They can just take here. I go here, takes. Go there. Coming out one pawn. That would be a second pawn. And there'd be one available here to go 3 pawns up. Maybe that's viable. Maybe you could even do this. And if you do nothing, you can do nothing, can't you? Takes. Bosh. My queen doesn't have the right now. If you get like here or something, it would be useful. Maybe like takes, pin. Not sure, but maybe something. I could get the rook at the end, take this rook, queen takes, then I get a knight capture there. Cement it with b3, hold the position. But no, I think we're in big trouble. I'm sure they're basically thinking that they want tempo and they want moves. They don't want. I actually don't think they'll be doing either of these moves. They'll be playing this or this. Yeah, what we're playing against that. Oh, okay. I have a move against that. That's good. That's really useful actually. So this dark square bishop does hold quite a key purpose of stopping the getting there, but queen no, and the queen can't. Yeah, okay. Having just seen that my bishop is really useful, maybe playing this. Push, just feels a bit slow. I don't really want to double on the H file, I don't think that really gives me much. King here, knight there. Maybe she's going to play this and this. Maybe this. This. I don't know. Thinking push. Takes. Oh, push, you come here. Oh, yeah, that's fine. We've only got a minute left. Here. Takes. You pick up a rook, check. I pick up a rook, but you go here. Ooh. Here, takes, rook for that, or rook, yeah, rook, probably king takes. Don't you play this? No. So you're going to trade, pick up the rook. And I was thinking I had knight c7, king moves, pick up on a8, but I don't. Because when you take on, then you play a2, and I can't defend that. I don't have time to pick up on d1 and stop you from queening, which is a bit unfortunate. So I think I sack an exchange. Takes, you take there. I take with king. Because this then doesn't work. Because check, you probably come up when you takes this, and I can't stop you queening. So I'm in trouble now. I'm down the exchange and 2 pawns. Okay, I think it takes, but then I lose here. I can play this. This is bad. Yes. push it. I've got this. Do I have this? I have H5. I did. Why didn't I play Knight H5? Yeah, I think here, Knight H5, because if you take, but then this, yeah, maybe I didn't. Oh, I should also stop, just doing silly stuff like that. You need to get back in the game. And then we need to work out how we even contemplate trying to hold this position. There feels, you know, always lurking at prospects of coming in here with a triple whacker. So I can get the check there. Doesn't do a lot of it, does it? Not a great square for my king, is it? Because I think ultimately I want to play this. Could play C3. Takes there. Takes. If I go here, you can just come here, takes and I get splatted there. But here. Oh yeah, that's valid. It's a move. Well, you can play this, can't you? Okay. This maybe? I feel like I'm crawling into a mating net. Again, this still looks quite strong. Who's preventing this? Not quite sure what my plan is. That's an issue. Yeah. Okay, this. Not many forks on offer. This feels pretty lethal. This feels pretty lethal. Mm-hmm. Just hopeless, isn't it? Just sack. Just resign. Did we have chances there? So we start off with the Jobava. And I think this is the main line. E3, takes, A6. Wow, and here white wins 37% and black wins 54%. Okay, so is there a way to, once we get here, is there anything else that's decent for me? E4 is interesting. And if D4, you push, do you? D5? No, you take on C. Yeah, okay, maybe we'll look at that a bit more, but so here I think it was the main line of takes, A6. Knight F3 is the move. This. I thought this was fine. No, it says minus 0.5. Or can I castle and just maintain the same threats? Yeah, can I cast? Yeah, and there's not this, is there? Because same threat. Yeah, stupid. I should have just castled, didn't need to take the bishop. Yeah. This felt tough already, -1, but it felt really bad. I said push. Okay, g5, g6. You probably got there, wouldn't you? G6, and then you go there. Okay. How do I get out of this pickle? How do I get out of this? Not like that. H6. Takes there. So what does it want me to play? B3. Knight takes. Knight back. Yeah, still, it's all tough though. We didn't get any of that. Yeah, didn't have any chances. And then no coordination here. Yeah, just got steamrolled. Fair enough. Fair enough.